Flosstube, it's Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle in New Zealand. Welcome. It's been almost a month, or just over a month, since I last filmed. It's been a very busy month with work, travel away, and a stitching retreat just this last weekend. Today is Tuesday, just check the calendar, 9th of May 2023. It's been a bit miserable here. We're starting to get into autumn, so it's been foggy and overcast and chilly. Not quite the freezing winters yet, but she's all good. Time to start to settle in for some long hours of long hours of stitching. So a little bit to show you today. A lot of purchases, but a bit scary. But I've also got some previous finishes that I do every time. Let's start with the one that's down here on this side. So there might be a bit of a glare because this is just framed by myself. It's a wee bit hard to see, but she's a beautiful blue butterfly, and she's got white lacy stitching all the way around her. She's beautiful, and she is actually called Butterfly Effect, and the design was by Felicity and it was from one of the cross stitch magazines. Now I couldn't find my magazine to tell you the exact magazine, but I stitched it in 2015, so I'm guessing it's probably from either 2015 or 2014. Definitely am pretty sure it wasn't Cross Stitcher magazine. I'm sure it's one of the other ones that you can't sort of get anymore, but I'm sure it's probably out there somewhere, maybe in an Etsy shop nowadays. But she is absolutely beautiful. It's a bit hard to see that white lace, but she yeah, is a lovely up on the wall. Nice fun stitch. Sorry about the clanging. Another older one. Just get the dust off. That I pulled off the wall this time is called, I think she's called the Embroider or the Embroideress, something like that. And she is oh my gosh, it's just gone completely out of my head. Paula Vaughan. Pretty sure it's Paula Vaughan. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the notes at the bottom of the Flosstube video. She is actually stitched on Ada, and she was stitched in 1990. So definitely a long time ago. But the details are still so beautiful. If I did it again, I would definitely do it on a linen this time. Especially with all those half stitches and back stitching. But she hangs up in my craft room, along with a few others. Another very big one, as we go along the Mirabilia wool, is Florentina. And she is stitched on a 32 count that I had a go at dyeing myself with the pinks and that. I love how the fabric turned out, and I think she looks absolutely gorgeous on that fabric. It's quite tall to get all the way in. I love the colours in the sparkle new dress, but this pussycat here reminds me of my pussycat, Gypsy, that I lost last year, and just absolutely beautiful. She was a lovely white cat, but the stitching just gorgeous. So that one is Florentina from Mirabilia. Just get it to not fall over. Okay, so the last older finish one that I have is actually, this one was not my first Hands Across the Sea sampler that I purchased, but it was my first one that I finished. And this one is Anne Roberts. Now there was a stitch along for it on Samplers Remembered, or our sampler years on Facebook. I think it's our sampler years. And I participated in that and did the little bit each month until I got about 3/4 of the way through, and then I couldn't help it, I had to finish it. But she is gorgeous. She's still available, you can still get her chart. But just the house, the boat, the ships, you would call them, the little farmers, the little baby sheep. Just an absolute love to stitch. The quirky cow up the top. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I like her. She's beautiful. She's another sampler. She actually normally sits over here in the hole on the wall. So that's my previous finishes for this time. Where to start next? Let's have a look. So we'll do some retreat stuff, and then I'll do my whips, etc. So it was down at Dunedin, which is, for those that don't know, New Zealand, about 3/4 of the way down the South Island. So we have a North and a South Island, so sort of near the bottom of New Zealand. It's a university city. It's a big medical university there. It's absolutely lovely to go and visit. Been there quite a few times now. But they do have one of my New Zealand favourite stitchy shops, and that is Stitchy Witches, which was part of the host for the retreat. So I travelled down on Friday with my friend Jude. We're road buddies. We travelled together. So that was lots of fun. Driving through the fog and the mist. Nice drive. It only takes about 4.5 hours, which is not too bad. We went out Friday night for tea, caught up with some of the girls from Auckland and Thames and Wellington, and some of the other Christchurch ladies, some of the Dunedin, couple of Dunedin ones as well came and met us. So we went and had tea on Friday night, then went back to the motel and did some stitching. Got up on Saturday, and then it was off to the retreat, which was held in a lovely, I think it was an old church building. It was actually very nice, beautiful and sunny the first day. So of course coming through all those lovely big glass windows, was lovely sitting there stitching. Not that a lot of stitching got done on day one. Let's just say more talking and eyeing up everybody's beautiful finished projects they were working on. Just catching up with people, meeting new friends. Yeah, a lot of talking done on Saturday. We went out for tea on Saturday night to a pasta place, and that was lovely. We won't talk about the Uber ride home because Narissa and the Uber ride did not agree with each other. It was a bit up, down, over the hill and around the corners, and I don't travel that well. If it's a little bit at speed, which it was. So I managed to get 2 stitches in on Saturday night. Not a great amount. I took off to bed early just feeling sick and with a migraine that came on, and yeah, it was just not a nice night. On Sunday felt much better, up where we went to the retreat again, and got a lot more stitching in on the Sunday. Got to see even more amazing projects, and caught up with a lot more people that I'd never met before, so that was really great. So a lot of new friends made. I'm not going to go through everything that we got down there, but we did get a goodie bag with chocolates, a quick flash, a retreat memory piece to stitch, which I actually need to get on and stitch all the other ones that I've got from the other retreats. We got some magic paper from DMC. Let's say chocolate, of course. Tape measure with a memento on it to keep. Metallic threads, clips which I use, and a bookmark. Yeah, that was quite good in our little wee goodie bag. Just pop that to the side. we had a mystery exchange parcel, which I participated in, and it was stitching stuff to, sorry about that, not the camera, stitching stuff to the value of around $25. So I know the person that got mine, and she seemed pretty happy with it. There was a couple pieces of fabric, some scissors, needle minder, nail file, and a little bag to sort of put it all in. So that was nice. You like that? And in my exchange piece that I got, I picked a little wee one because I have enough stash. I got some more DMC needles, always handy. A beautiful tape measure, which will go on one of my tins for going away. A yarn tree stitch guide. Cute little wee tin with owls on it, and inside the tin, get it open, was a needle minder with little ducks on it. So I dare say my granddaughter will steal that one. And some little wee tags with made with love on them for putting onto projects or project bags. So thank you very much to the person that made my mystery parcel. It was lovely to receive it. Thank you. I'll just pop those away, and I'll just pop those down on the floor. 2 seconds. Well, so much stuff around me today, it's a wee bit crazy. So while I was there, like I said, I did not get a lot of stitching done. I think maybe 100 stitches on day 1, a couple of hundred on day 2, which for me is very slow, very quiet. But that's okay, that's what it's about. It's about getting to know people and see new projects and be inspired. I certainly was. I've come home and pulled out things to put in my, I have that, I need to get stitching on that pile. So yes, you'll see some new starts coming up, not today, but coming up soon. I still want to get those whips finished. From the freebie table at the retreat, well actually before the freebie table, they didn't quite make it to the freebie table. Thank you, Megan. You know who you are. She had some beautiful Paper This Plus fabrics. Now she had quite a few pieces there, but I was very good. I only took 2, and these were the 2 that I took. They're both on 40 count, and one is De Bloom, and the other one is Bramble. And I am pretty sure I will make very good use of both of these, and especially the lovely colours. So once again, thank you very much, Megan, for letting me have a pick through before you put them on the freebie table. That was the only thing I took for the freebie table. I have enough stuff that I just think I would rather donate and let someone else stitch what I've already stitched, or things that I've changed my mind on and I know I don't want to stitch anymore, rather than taking a lot of patterns and stuff. Let me think. When we were down there on Friday, Jude and I, when we arrived, our first port of call, of course, was Stitch Witches. So I had a plan. I was not buying any patterns at all. I don't need them. I had ordered one on the way down, which is now on its way to me. It was a new release on Thursday night, Friday morning, so that's on its way. I'll show you that later on. But I basically just went for threads. They have 100 threes, which is the only store in New Zealand that sells them. And they had some other threads that I wanted to finish off cutting some projects. So let me just make sure I grab the right piles. So some of the threads that I got was Classic Colourworks, because my local needlework shop, my main one that I go to here in Christchurch, does not sell these ones. So I got all of those threads to go for. I've been wanting these for ages, and I bought them, oh my gosh, the beginning of the year. Karen at Art and Frame had them all in, so I just bought them all. The Needleworker, Home of a Needleworker, another Home of a Needleworker, and the Thread Gatherer. I need some stuff that's on a slightly bigger count to what I normally stitch on for like when I do go to retreats and stitching events and stuff, so that it's a bit easier to see and stitch. And I thought, right, these 4 are perfect for doing that. And not that you guys can see it, but up above my big windows that now have the curtains closed so we can film this, there's a big eave, and it's probably about a foot and a half gap, and all of these will be perfect along the top of that. So that's the plan. When will I start them? Who knows? I still got to find some fabric and think I know what I want, and I'll be around to see Karen, not this payday, but around to see Karen shortly to get them sorted. Put those just in there. Oh, I can't think of her name, and I was meant to look it up. I will put it in the notes underneath. There's a young lady there, and she's, I think it's Jessica. I think it was Jessica, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd definitely have to look it up. And she's been making thread holders, 3D. That was just my cat in the curtain. 3D thread holders. So they're absolutely gorgeous, little wee ones. So they have their hole for the ring, hole for your main thread, and then for, you know, when you pull one off and you don't use it all, and you've got your other little wee part. So I bought 40 because I thought, you know, my samplers, I need a lot. So we'll give them a go and see how they go. They're well made. They're very sturdy. Should be good. So yeah, I will definitely put a link to her. I think she's got an Etsy store underneath. But while I was in Stitch Witches, of course, you know, they have their scissors. They're everywhere. Oh, I just love them. So I got some more black heart ones, the little wee ones, and I had to get the mini storkettes. Wrong way, down that way. In the red. You know, you always need red, and you always need black scissors, especially for displaying. So I had to get those too. Put those in there. So part of when I was at Stitch Witches, my cutting up was, I already have had this project, and it is Mrs. Campbell. So I already had my fabric that I'd ordered a while ago that had come in from number 12 Stitch Co. And it is the salted caramel. It's very lightly mottled. It's a little bit hard, sorry, in this light, especially now the cat's opened up the curtain. And this one's on 46. But I didn't get them all. I got some of them. They didn't have some of them, but I've since come home and I've got some of the other ones in my other projects that have 100 threes, and I've got, I think, 5 to order, so I'll place an order next week and get those delivered. So that's another one that's now kitted, pretty much kitted out, ready to go. So on my way there, well, actually before I even left, to be honest, I think it was about 7:30 in the morning, I messaged Karen from Art and Frame. This photo is so tiny and I'm so sorry about that. But Hands Across the Sea Samplers had brought out Maria Irwin, and she's the 2023 Queen of the May. So I have ordered the booklet for her. She's very tiny. Sorry, it may be a little bit out of focus. But when I get the booklet, I'll show you again. So I ordered her, but I also went on the Hands Across the Sea Samplers website and downloaded the threads that I was needing, knowing I was going to somewhere that had the 100 threes. So once again, I didn't have all of them, but I got a very good start. There's a few more, and some of the others I definitely have in my other projects, some of the reds and the darker greens and things like that. So that's really good. That means I don't have to buy them again. So that was at Stitch Witches. On the way home, Jude and I stopped at, Annie's country quilt store, which is a little wee store that's in Ashburton. It is a beautiful quilting store, and she has a growing collection of cross stitch. She has a lot of station ash, blackbird designs, she's starting to get a lot more of the samplers. She had a lot of fabrics in there, which was really like quilting fabrics as well as embroidery fabrics. So fox and rabbits, there was quite a few of those in there if anybody's after those. Yeah, just a really nice, lovely store to go and visit. We definitely will be going back there. Well, I know I will. It's only an hour's drive, so I think I can do that a bit more regularly than I do. But while we were there, of course, you know, you can't walk in and walk out empty-handed. But we walked in and I seen this beautiful, oops, just going to drop it, peacock fabric. So I only got a little fat quarter, but I'm going to make a little bag and have the peacock on the front, and I will match it up with other fabrics for the other side. That down there. Sorry, I'm just going to pop out a screen. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so I also got this beautiful green, olivey green, and the greens and whites. Now, I want this for backing fabric for Christmas ornaments. I think I know exactly what ones are going on, but if not, I may change my mind. But I definitely love it. I will use it definitely at some stage for them. Now, after having saying, I am not buying any more, you know, patterns. I don't need them. I couldn't help it. She had both of these made up. So this one here is from Samplers and Centres, and it's the little wee pear, and it says, "To thy own self be true, to others be kind, for we know not where love or fate we will find." And it made up, it is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, it's done kitted with the DMC and 32 count. There's a couple pieces of fabric in there, so I bought that kit. She showed me because it was, you know, made up. And the other one I got was the Station Ash Primitives. I've been eyeing this one a few times, but to see it in person, had to have it. And that is the little wee drum. Sorry about the glare. And it has Seek Goodness. It's a strawberry drum and pinky, and then on the back it has the little wee motif. So she's tiny, but it came with the thread, fabric, finishing fabric, a needle even. She's all there, ready to go. So that'll go away for a maybe for a statue retreat or something like that. Something small to work on. So that's pretty much my purchases. Oh no, sorry, one other. Lee from Creative Lee. I'd run out of crushed walnut shell, so I messaged her on the Thursday to see if she had any that I could buy off her, and she did. So she bought me some more crushed walnut shell. Thank you very much, Lee. I will now be able to finish one of my finishes that I will show you after. I didn't have enough to start stuffing them, or sewing them together and stuffing them. So thank you very much, Lee, for the walnut shell. What else? Okay. My friend Judith, hi Judith, had been over to America for work. And while she was over there, she managed to get to the Attic Needleworks shop. Now she knows that our group of friends that she stitches with, we go away to the retreats with and all that, we're all big fans of the Attic Needlework shop. So she bought different little things back for everybody. And I got the Attic Needlework with Samplers Rule side case thing, where you know you put it on your counter and you can put your scissors and your bits and pieces on. Love it. Thank you very much, Judith. She also gave me a beautiful little wee key ring that will go on my scissors, and it just says the Attic Needlework with Samplers Rule, and of course Samplers Rule. Now Judith and I stitch a lot of Christmas ornaments, and she knows I love stitching on the black for some of them, and she got me some more 20 count blackadder, which you will see me using when we get into Christmas stitching. So yeah, that was my lovely gift. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Judith. Was not expecting any of that. Really, really appreciate it. Okay, let me see. Right, so next we'll do whips. Now before, actually, yes, we will do whips. Before I went away, I got kind of stuck on a few projects, and by stuck I mean I didn't want to put them down. I have 29, pull my board out, had 29 whips, and where I had a start and a finish, and that was number 29. So I'll show you those. Pull them out from underneath the pile. So for April, I started and finished all 3 of the red work pairs by Anne Beez designs. So I stitched mine on, let's have a look, have a look, have a look, 40 count, and these are the 3. We'll do one at a time. And I stitched them using Silks for You PB034, and that is it's a really pink. It looks really pink in the photo, but it does, it just stitches up so beautifully. I am using it on a bigger sampler, so I just stole a little bit. She'll be right. There'll be plenty. So that's pair number 2, and there goes the needle. And that one there is pair number 3. So they're all stitched. I picked my backing fabric that's going to go on them. I have my bits to do the stalk and the leaves and stuff. But like I said, I ran out of crushed walnut shells. So hopefully this month or next month, maybe next month, I will get those fully finished and be able to show you those. So that was my red work pairs. So that was my start finish. I then worked on some of my whips. So I got a little bit of stitching done on, just pull it out, this one here, which is a Summerhouse pincushion, and it is from Blackbird Designs. It is in the Honeysuckle Manor booklet. Make sure I get it the right way round. Now it's a little hard to see, probably will show up fine in the camera, but I wanted it so it sort of looks really faded. I have used the called for colours, but my fabric is a little bit darker. But in person it shows up fine. So all I've got to do is on 40 count, is in here is the ABCs. So that won't take long, maybe another session. Oh, and just finish colouring in, oops, upside down. Finish colouring in the little bit of the house there. So that's, yeah, probably another night, 2 nights maybe at the most work. So that's alright. And then that will be another whip gone. Okay, so before we went away, I worked on the rose wreath sampler, which is this one here from Gigi R. Absolutely love it. I think what fabric I used. This one here, 40 count antique, and I worked in the middle here on the big rose wreath. But those colours are absolutely gorgeous. We made our way down to the bottom. So yes, I did take it away, but she didn't get any work on her. But that's okay. As long as she gets some more work this month, I would love to get her finished, but I don't think that's going to happen now. We will see. So that's her. One of my other whips that I worked on before I went away was so many little pieces here and there. Mirabilia. Now she was Queen of the May from 2018. She's a big girl, but she's coming along. So this is stitched on 50. Oh my gosh, brain fart. It's 156 count, just in the plain white, and using just the DMC 1/2 or 1/1 when it's needed. Alright, so all I managed to stitch on this one was to finish some more of the background underneath here, and just a tiny little bit started the back fill again for the stand. It was maybe an hour and a half's work, so not a lot of progress. She's definitely coming out for next month, this one. She's going to be a focus piece. Oops, sorry, it's a bit close. Let me see. Okay, so another one that I worked on. This is the one I think I put maybe 20 stitches into at retreat, but I have done a lot more before we went. And it is, I just need to move back a little wee bit. Consider the Lilies by Heartstring samplery. So before we went to stitch your retreat, I'd done the top part, including the tree, but nothing this side. So I've started Eve, the puppy, it's a puppy, the tree, the container over here, and then the other pot on this side. And then I'd also had been working down here, filling in all of this. I did leave, you know, nice easy full pieces for retreat, and a little tree over here I need to finish, but she wasn't calling to me at retreat, so she didn't come out. Not really, a little bit. But hopefully we'll get some good progress. Fingers crossed, maybe for a finish this month. She's on my mania wish list to be done. Might pick her up this weekend coming, I think, and try and get some big stitches in on her. Okay, so the two pieces that I did stitch on at retreat, I have also stitched on before I went. So they've had progress last month and progress at retreat. So the first one I will show you is, so this is the Summer Schoolhouse Abecedarian series from With Thy Needle and Thread, that you have to buy the 4 patterns to make the series up. I am going to finish them as the pillows. I'm still debating on whether I'm going to do this one, but this afternoon I am going to stitch and finish the strawberry. Sorry about that. I'm determined to get that done. I am using the Cool Full threads, so we've got Wheat's Dye Works, Sampler Shaker, and Classic Colourworks. So all beautiful, beautiful colours. Right, so there's lots of progress on this from when you last seen it. This is all 5 finished. Like I said, strawberry to go. So at retreat, this one here, I had half of this part here of the house, so from these 2 little windows here down to do. Goal achieved. On this one here, I had all of the blue to do, or grey blue of the house. So there was none of that there, so we got all that done. Goal achieved. These 2 guys here were stitched in April and finished. So they didn't get touched at retreat. and the W, X, Y, Z. Yesterday morning, before we went to come home, I got the pot finished. So technically, on my retreat weekend, I did get all 5 parts, well, 3 of the 5 parts completed. So if I wanted to, I could say these are the 5 cushions, that's it, that's done. But I do want to do the little strawberry. And I'm gonna stitch that this afternoon. So hopefully, for the time this uploads, and most of you get to see it, it should be a finish. But we'll show you that next week. Next time. So yeah, so that's my summer schoolhouse abecedarian series. Love stitching it. It is on 40 count, 2/1, and it's on the antique or country cottage antique thingy that everyone calls it. So it's beautiful. Yay! Almost a complete finished. Okay, so the other one that on the Saturday, part of the Sunday, that I was pushing to try and get a finish on, I didn't, and in the end I had to change my, you know when your mind sort of gets off the concentration and it's like, if I don't stitch something else, I'm not going to make any progress anyway. So Memories of the Past is the one that has completely been holding my interest for the last month and a half. This is the one I've put a lot of work into, and we are almost there. Oops, sorry. So this morning I finished all the dark purple flowers for the outside around the border. Finished the last night was down the side here, finished, and this morning I finished the last 2 across the bottom. So this one is stitched on 46 count using the 100 threes. I have 1 colour in transit at the moment, so I can't complete the whole thing until that arrives. Stitchy Witches didn't have it, and I'd ordered it from 123 Stitch, and it is supposedly in New Zealand, but goodness knows how long customs will take. And then that will be able to finish the missing letters and a couple other parts of the flowers and stuff. There is still 2 animals, I think they're deers, to stitch in the bottom here, and 2 elves to go across here in a bow. And then it is just the lavender flower and the greenery. So up here it's got the greenery on the top, on the edge of the stems, and that goes all the way around. So I'm hoping, minus the 1 colour, unless that arrives this week, that I will have this finished by the end of the month. I might take a couple of days off and like stitch, consider the lilies or something else just to have a break, and then I'll get back to her. But she's almost there. Yay! Almost. So they are my whips that I've worked on. They are what I want to complete, minus Mirabilia for May. That's huge goals. But you just never know. Get a good run and it'll be fine. Just trying to have a look. Right, so I think that's almost stitching. The only other thing I could show you is potentially a couple of new starts, which we won't do. Well, we won't be starting in May. I've made my mind up. They're not being started in May, no matter how many others I get finished. I want to see how many I can get finished in May. So I have some kitted up ones that I want to start. Now these are, of course, big girls, because you know I like my big samplers. So this one's been, there's a stitch long going on for it at the moment, which is probably why it's made me want to pull it back out. I keep seeing it everywhere, but I've had it kitted for so long, and it's like, you know what, just pull it out and do it. So this is Elizabeth Furnace, 1836, from Hands Across the Sea. of course. You know it's going to be a hands across the sea sampler. But she's gorgeous. I have kitted her in DMCs. Only because readily available, easy. Love working with them. Now, I have a piece of fabric. She's all cut, measured, serged. And it is 40 count linen, and it's one that I dyed myself using the RIT dyes, with a combination of tan and the browns. I don't know if the mottling's going to show up too much with that light. But very nicely dyed, if I do say so myself. So that's definitely a new start coming extremely shortly. If I'd had the mindset, I probably would have started at Retreat, but I was determined to get one of those finished, and I got so close. It's frustrating. So that's potential start number 1. Potential start number 2 was another one that I had kitted before I even went away, and I've already done some of these, but I need to make some progress on getting some of these other ones. So the next one I have kitted up and want to start, and this is a blackbird design, and it is the Hollyhocks Were Always There, and it's the housewife. So have my fabric, and she is a 40 count, and I have, oops, I don't have all the threads tied together, but I have, oops, all of, need to find another ring to put them on, all of the wet Stywigs to do that. So she's another start that will definitely be happening next month. I want to get a few more starts on before we start the Christmas in July, because once I start my Christmas stitching, I get a bit sidetracked, and that's all I do. Right. She's ready to go. And her beautiful plastic, bag. That's an older one. The other one that I'm going to start, I have a Zoom conference call with some ladies that are stitching the Uffendale sisters, and they're all working on Anne still, which is wonderful. It's great seeing all their lovely progress, but of course I need to start something. I can't sit there and not stitch, and it has to be an Uffendale sister or Anne Roberts, or Anne Ruth Bates, sorry, not Anne Roberts. My gosh, names in my head. So I have Isabella, and I think she's going to be my start, or no, I think I'm going to do Isabella, or I do have Ruth Bates. Now I have both of them kitted with fabrics and their threads, but I think when we do our next Zoom, Isabella is my one that I am starting on. So she will definitely, even if that's in May, she would at least get a couple of hours work on her. There is another couple, and I don't know where I've put them, so I'll have to show you those next time, that I want to start. So that's probably pretty much it from me. I just want to say thank you everybody for the likes, the subscribes, the comments. They've been beautiful. They just warm my heart, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm blown away. I'm almost at 1,800 subscribers. Did not expect that in this short period of time. Really appreciate it, considering this is only video number 6. But yes, thank you, thank you, thank you everybody. I do try and at least read them and heart them. I don't always get time between work and wanting to stitch to actually comment. I do try and comment back, but it was very lovely, must throw in here as well, that at the retreat to meet a lot of people that have watched them that I did not know had been watching them from New Zealand. So hi everybody, and thank you. But yeah, that's probably about it. I'm starting to waffle now, so it must be time to go. So yes, please just remember, one stitch at a time, and it will get those samplers finished. Thank you. See you next time.